The following is the completed version of my original project paper. This video tests an experimental technology term paper format. In order to view the text in the project paper that follows, you may need to use the high definition setting on YouTube. Disclaimer. This is a purely academic project paper. I assume no responsibility for the accuracy of its content or the credibility of its references.
Hi, I'm Brian Eckert, and I'm making this video to document my project paper for my macroeconomics class. My topic is the economic impact of foreign exchange students on the United States economy, with emphasis on Chinese mainland exchange students, the $2 billion a year question.
First, I'd like to give my brief resume. Education. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with a concentration in Electrical Engineering and Database. I attended a technical school for Oracle database development. I self-studied the Mandarin Chinese language by living with a Chinese family. Experience. 10 years working as a computer technician on aviation systems development. 3 years as a long-term substitute teacher. And now, I'd like to present my narrated project paper. Page 1, cover. The economic impact of foreign K-12 exchange students on the United States economy. Civic engagement report. Final release. Macro 1200. Brian Eckert, student 9A. Spring term 2013. Abstract. The following paper explores the idea of considering the enrollment of foreign K-12 exchange students as an economic industry. This involves the situation concerning the number and numbered trends of foreign K-12 exchange students in the United States, the economic impact of the enrollment of these students, and the economic political ideology affecting the promotion and control of this industry. The body of this paper presents a hypothetical example of a new system of handling the exchange student industry. The final conclusion shows that if the hypothetical example is accepted, the gross domestic product of the United States economy could be increased by possibly $2 billion or more per year. Page 2, Introduction. This paper explores the macroeconomic perspective of treating the national hosting of foreign kindergarten through 12th grade students as an independent industry. The impact the industry of K-12 foreign exchange student enrollment has on our United States economy, the monetary worth of the industry, the political economic ideologies affecting this industry, if these factors should be changed for the benefit of the United States economy, what the future trends are, and if the United States economy would benefit from them. The role of the government. In order to produce the public good of free K-12 education, the government needs to raise revenue by taxation. It then transfers the money to the general public in the form of public schools. This creates local employment through the school system. The magnitude of this revenue funding is dependent on student enrollment in a particular school. The current industry. The current total domestic United States foreign K-12 school exchange student industry worth is approximately $300 million in United States dollars. This figure is based on the total number of foreign exchange students enrolled domestically in the United States, approximately 30,000, times the total program package cost of each student enrolled through a service, approximately 10,000. This world exchange of students is done with a mostly conservative, hands-off market approach. From my research, there only seems to be a few United States federal programs to encourage exchange students to enroll in the United States. One of the few is a $10 million program to promote student exchanges with Muslim countries. This limited number of programs illustrates an interventionist style of government ideology that is not being fully implemented. In general, the number of foreign K-12 exchange student enrollments in the United States over the last 2 decades seems stagnant at best, as illustrated on the next page in the 20-year chart of foreign exchange student K-12 enrollment. With the exception of China and Germany, most countries show declining enrollments. Of the 2 countries, China and Germany, China is mostly responsible for the recent growth in foreign student enrollment. From my research, the main sources of this data are the Department of Homeland Security and the Council on Standards for International Educational Travel. Page 4. Graphed here is a 20-year chart of foreign exchange student K-12 enrollment, with the Council on Standards for International Educational Travel graphed in green and the Department of Homeland Security data in yellow. As you can see, student enrollment started declining many years before the 2001 terrorist attacks and only started recovering after increased Chinese student enrollment. The Chinese, in particular, desire an American style of education for a number of reasons. They believe that it promotes creativity and learning. The students want to avoid the Chinese mainland college entrance exam, the Gaokao, and many Chinese students do not like the rigid form of teaching in the Chinese public schools that is designed to teach the Gaokao test. The main drawback of the Chinese students coming to the United States for their education is that it is almost impossible for them to return to mainland China to continue their education because the American style of education does not prepare them for the Gaokao test. If the Chinese students pursue their high school education outside of mainland China, that is usually the start of their permanent education outside of China. The main reasons for declining enrollment are noted as being that the school districts are too short on revenue to accept many exchange students, that American families have too hectic a pace of life to host the students, and since the September 11th attacks, there may also be increased security concerns. However, from the data on the student enrollment, the decrease seems to have begun before the September 11th attacks. A better system? What if the United States could double or even triple both the number of domestic United States foreign K-12 school exchange students and also the amount of tuition? How about an additional approximately $2 billion or more in trade coming to the United States from this industry? What if the United States government more actively promoted the industry with a liberal Keynesian prime-the-pump style approach? Or if the local school districts offered more in the way of special exchange programs? The main problem holding back the foreign K-12 school exchange student program progress seems to be the conflict between federal and state laws concerning payment of tuition. The state laws that require public schools to be free conflict with the federal law stating that the local school districts must charge tuition. If the local school districts could circumvent the state laws, larger and more encompassing K-12 school foreign exchange student programs can be established. This will also give more financial encouragement to American families to host exchange students. The school district of Janesville, Wisconsin, has in recent years been suffering from declining enrollment of local students. Superintendent of Janesville, Catherine Schulte, is pioneering a new approach with her Janesville International Education Program. Under this program, the school district will fight state laws that mandate that state schools shall be free to the public, which are in conflict with the federal laws that the school district must charge tuition. Schulte is proposing that the school district should be able to charge international exchange students directly for a special school district service program for exchange students, under which the school district can charge 2 to 3 times as much, $20,000 to $30,000 a year per student, and draw many more students by providing special services for the students, mainly targeting Chinese students. She also notes that the Newcomb School District in New York has run such a program for 8 years. And the Ladysmith School District in Wisconsin has been charging foreign students $18,900 a year for tuition, fees, room, and board. Both of these school districts are making the same legal argument as she is for her proposed program. This same situation is being addressed in many parts of the United States. Of course, this does open up the socioeconomic issue of the wealthy people having privilege over the financially less advantaged. The current system of free tuition may allow students that would otherwise not be able to afford to come to the United States as exchange students to participate in foreign exchange student programs. Conclusion. The main problem holding back the foreign K-12 school exchange student program progress seems to be the conflict between federal and state laws concerning payment of tuition. The state laws that require public schools to be free conflict with the federal law stating that the local school districts must charge tuition to foreign exchange students. If the local school districts could circumvent the state laws, or if the federal government would play a more active role in enforcing the federal laws, larger and more encompassing K-12 school foreign exchange student programs could be established. This will also give more financial encouragement to American families to host exchange students. If this could be accomplished, the additional $2 billion added to the United States domestic economy would help not only the local school districts and towns, but by focusing on the large opportunity with Chinese exchange students, would help the United States trade deficit with China. To avoid the logical fallacy of composition, I would like to stress here that this is strictly a hypothetical example in which all the school districts in the United States would have to adopt this new system of charging foreign exchange students. Otherwise, the increase of $2 billion or more a year in gross domestic product would not be achieved. I think the idea of a new system of operation of enrolling foreign students should be implemented with consideration for the financially low-income foreign students who want to be involved in foreign exchange programs through federal programs. Perhaps a prorated system based on the income of the student's parents should be considered. The financially advantaged foreign families should be allowed to enroll their children by paying their way. This will bring more revenue into the United States and allow more foreign students to get an American education. It would be a win-win economic international trade situation. Hopefully, there will be special consideration for lower income and gifted students. I feel that the federal government should adopt both the active role in enforcing the federal laws on state tuition and the Keynesian prime-the-pump investment strategy. This would allow more special facilities such as boarding school-type dormitories to be built and special student support services to be created. The current passive approach of the federal government seems very complacent in view of our economic situation. The economic boost is greatly needed. It could save some schools from being closed. And having foreign exchange students here in the United States schools is both a good way to promote the United States and increase the cultural diversity of our schools' learning environments. Page 8. Bibliography. The bibliographical references here are listed in black with the internet links shown in blue. Page 9. Bibliography continued.
I wanted to give emphasis to one of the main points of this video. If the federal government would get involved, at least enough to form a special team to help the local school systems enforce the federal laws, some of the concepts in this video may be able to become a reality. Thank you. I hope you found this video to be useful.
Time report approximation. The underlying paper, research 31 hours, writing 7 hours, instructor's time 3 hours, this video 52 hours, grand total 93 hours. With special thanks to my professor for giving me an extension of time to finish this project and for taking several hours of her own time to do reviews and give suggestions.